Iran just told Trump to take his peace plan and throw it in the trash. Not quietly, not diplomatically, loudly, publicly, and with a counteroffer so extreme that a U.S. official literally called it ridiculous. And if you think this is just another round of diplomatic back and forth, you need to hear what Iran is actually demanding, because this changes everything about how this war ends. Let's break down exactly what happened, why it matters, and what it means for the United States, the Middle East, and the rest of the world. Here's what's really happening. Trump put together a 15-point peace plan, 15 specific demands designed to end the war, neutralize the nuclear threat, and bring some form of stability back to a region that is teetering on the edge. And by most accounts, it was a serious proposal, detailed, structured, the kind of plan that required significant diplomatic work to put together. And Iran looked at it, handed it back to the intermediaries, and said no. Not just no, an emphatic, defiant, almost theatrical rejection. But what happened next is where things get really serious, because Iran didn't just walk away from the table. They came back with their own list of demands. And when you hear what's on that list, you'll understand why Washington is now using words like unrealistic and ridiculous to describe the situation. Let's go back to the beginning, because context here is everything. We are now in the 4th week of active conflict between the United States and Iran. Think about that for a second. 4 weeks into a war. Strikes have already hit Tehran. We have images of an 8-story building reduced to rubble as recently as March 23rd. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the most powerful military force within Iran's crumbling regime structure, has consolidated control. And despite all of this, despite the bombs and the destruction and the pressure, Iran's leadership is not backing down. In fact, a senior Iranian official said something this week that tells you everything you need to know about where Tehran's head is at right now. He said, and this is important, Iran will end the war when it decides to do so and when its own conditions are met. And then he went even further. He said, the end of the war will occur when Iran decides it should end, not when Trump envisions its conclusion. That is not the language of a country that is losing and ready to negotiate. That is the language of a regime that believes it still has leverage. The question is, do they? Now, let's talk about Trump's 15-point plan, because most people missed what was actually in it. Israel's Channel 12 made 14 of the 15 points public, and when you read through them, you start to understand why Iran rejected it so forcefully. This wasn't a gentle nudge. This was a comprehensive dismantling of everything Iran has spent decades building. Point 1, Iran must dismantle its existing nuclear capabilities. Not pause them, not freeze them, dismantle them. Point 2, Iran must commit to never pursuing nuclear weapons, a permanent binding commitment. Point 3, no uranium enrichment on Iranian soil whatsoever. Point 4, Iran must hand over its entire stockpile of enriched uranium